Well, folks, we looked at the Cotton Bowl with Bama and Cincinnati. A lot of people say that one's pretty predictable. I hate to admit it, but maybe you're right. But I'll tell you one that might actually be really good and probably one of the better playoff games that we've had in the playoff era. We're looking at the 2021 Orange Bowl on December 31st, New Year's Eve, next weekend with Georgia and Michigan. Let's look at it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard here, Ballard Sports Media. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. I do all kinds of sports content. I'm going to try to get back into doing some baseball stuff this next year as we kick off 2022. We get into the month of January. We'll be a month or so out from spring training. I would like to get to that. March Madness right around the corner. We got a lot of great basketball stuff going on, but it's mostly college football. That is my number one sport, hands down, all the time. I will never miss an opportunity if I get a chance to talk CFB with you guys. I love y'all. Do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Really would appreciate it. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to everybody. Looking at the 2021 Orange Bowl, the Capital One Orange Bowl. I think it used to be the Discover Orange Bowl, if I'm not mistaken, but someone let me know. Number 2, Michigan, who comes in at 12-1, and then alongside also at 12-1, the team that everybody thought was not necessarily unbeatable, but the best team all year long. And quite honestly, I'd still say, there's still a chance. They're in position. The Georgia Bulldogs, 42 years since they won the title back in 1980. I'm not bringing that up to troll Georgia fans or anything like that, but they have a chance to make history and break the streak. Overall, we'll get into this game, but a quick summary real quick. Georgia, as I mentioned, they were the team all year long until they lost by 17, 41-24 to the Crimson Tide in the SEC title. There are some rumors out there. Stetson Bennett has been the key go-to guy all season long, at least it seems like when you look at it, ever since, and someone remind me, but it started out looking great with JT Daniels. They come into this season. He's their guy. They finally got the quarterback. It's the key missing piece. And then somewhere along the way, he gets a little hurt. There's some injury or something going on, and Stetson Bennett takes over. Well, Georgia fans aren't too happy about that, some of them. But it turns out he's the better quarterback. It seems like the offense just responds better to him. Shout out to all the Georgia fans also. Trenches, Chess Hall, my best friend, Ugga Boy out there. I'll even give a shout out to Lou. I don't care. All the Georgia fans out there. I'll say this. Y'all are good and loyal fans. Y'all are good people. I love y'all. Y'all deserve to see your team win a title. But let's be honest. In this case, the other game has Alabama in it. And I don't want you guys to win a title if it involves Alabama not, basically, if you win a title, that means Alabama has to lose to either Cincinnati or it's a rematch and you get revenge. And if Alabama has to suffer, I don't want to see you guys win it. Otherwise, have at it. I don't know. But again, nothing but love and respect for Georgia. I'd say the same thing about Michigan. I don't hate Michigan. I like Jim Harbaugh. Obviously, an amazing offense this year. You look at it. Shout out to Nate the Great, my boy Nate Kingston. I love you, buddy. You're a good friend. And I'll say it for you. Go Blue, man. Michigan, I don't want to say they came out of nowhere. This has been quite a while in the making for Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. He's hired in 2015. He comes in. It feels like longer than that. But the question, and it wasn't even just him. Even prior to him, when is Michigan going to beat Ohio State? That's what they did. And they did it handily. What was it, 42-27? Something like that. I don't know. But overall, man, it's just incredible to see. Both of these teams have earned their way here. And I really do think, and I said this, I think for the first time in the playoff era, and I'm sure we can all agree, we truly got the 4 best teams in the playoff. And I think it's one of those, too, where it's like, I'd be careful. I know a lot of people, again, with the Bama game, Bama's just going to straight kill Cincinnati. I wouldn't be too sure because Bama's got their issues, too. They might have looked flawless or, spotless or whatever against Georgia, but that was one game. What about all the other games for them? Again, that's for a different time, different video, whatever, right? Focusing on this Orange Bowl. These teams are 2 very historic programs, each with their own championship droughts, whatever. They last met. They do have some history. They have not met since October 2nd, 1965. Georgia won in Ann Arbor 15-7. Great defensive game. Possible that this one's like that. Maybe not that low. I don't know, but we'll get to that later on. It's been quite some time, but these teams, yes, they have faced each other overall when you look at it. I mentioned Georgia. They were the preseason pick. They were my preseason back. I'm just going to be honest. Maybe I feel that way after these semifinals if Alabama advances, and maybe we'll see who wins this game. Georgia was the team all year. Then they lose to Alabama. There are some rumors, as I mentioned, JT could possibly return. Here's the thing, though. I think with the quarterback situation for Georgia, right, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I'll say this. It's been quite a while since you've seen JT get some actual action. And it seems like things are working very well with Stetson Bennett. It just seems like that. Even if he's ready, I don't know if they want to risk just throwing him out there, especially against a great defense that they'll face in Michigan. Like, let's say he gets cleared and everything, or something comes up. I don't know. And actually, I think I did see he's out with COVID, right? So, and I think it's like a 10-day protocol. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to be able to play. He is out with COVID. It's not even an injury. It's just straight COVID. And we've had a lot of COVID going around, and possibility with this new variant that these games get moved or canceled or something. But just in case, I'm going to get these out anyway, kind of like what I did before last season. I'm like, just in case we do have football in whatever way, I'm still going to talk about it. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up. But let's just call it what it is. Stetson Bennett's going to be the quarterback in this game, right? I know you Georgia fans, some of y'all out there want JT back. It's not going to happen. Not in this game, at least. Let's just move on, right? So, Stetson Bennett and Cade McNamara. Cade McNamara, amazing for Michigan. Over 2,000 yards throwing. Same with Stetson. 15 touchdowns, 4 picks for Cade McNamara, and 24 touchdowns for Stetson Bennett. 7 interceptions. You look at these points per game, Georgia just barely by 2 points ahead of Michigan. They're scoring almost 40 points a game on average, about 39.5, and 37.7 for Michigan. They're just below 40 as well. Michigan, great defense, right? They have Aiden Hutchinson, the top edge rusher, top defensive player in the draft, best defensive player in college football right now. 16 points allowed per game compared to Georgia only giving up about 9 points a game, 9.5. This line has dropped, by the way, half a point. I checked it yesterday. I was getting the notes for this video. It was 8 in favor of Georgia. It's now 7.5. The line has dropped, right? And again, I mentioned these teams have met before. They've only met twice. The first time was October 5th, 1957 in Ann Arbor. Michigan shut Georgia out 26-0. And then they met about 7 or 8 years later in 1965. Georgia won 15-7 in Ann Arbor. So they haven't met since then. Again, this game on New Year's Eve, December 31st, of course, going to be a 7:30 Eastern kickoff. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good one. That being said, I'll just go ahead and tell you what I think about this. So we break this game down. The quarterback matchup, let's just stick with Stetson Bennett if you're Georgia, at least for right now. He's their guy compared to Cade McNamara. I like Cade McNamara as a better quarterback than Stetson Bennett. But Stetson Bennett, Georgia fans, some of them at least, don't really – I don't want to say they don't like him, but they feel like JT's better. I'm not here to argue that. I don't know. I hear this from this Georgia fan, this from the other. Who cares? Y'all are having great success this year. Quit complaining. Be led by your defense. Win your title and be gone with it. There. I said it. I mean, seriously. But Cade McNamara, over 2,000 yards. I mentioned 15 touchdowns, 4 picks, right? Okay. That's the quarterback matchup. Cade McNamara for Michigan. Stetson Bennett for Georgia. You look at some key players that they have, though. I stuck with 2. If I had to pick 2 players outside of the quarterbacks for both of these teams, I would go Hassan Haskins. I kind of switched this up a bit, a little different from what I did for Cincinnati and Bama. But let's say who outside of quarterback play, who's the key offensive player I want to watch, and who's the key defensive player I want to watch. For Michigan, I want to watch Hassan Haskins. He's very good, especially catching in the backfield. He's a hard-hitting running back. He can do it all. He's an all-in-one package type of just running back. I think he's got a bright future in the NFL someday when he gets there, if he does go to the draft in a couple years. He's amazing. He's very good. He's fast. He's got great size, great hands, 261 carries for him on the year. 1,200 plus yards on the ground, and 20 touchdowns, right? Just incredible player. 1,288 yards. I mentioned he's averaging about 5 yards a carry. His longest run is 62, and I mentioned he's got 20 touchdowns. Now, they have a pretty good duo of running backs, actually, with Michigan. They also got Blake Coram. He hasn't touched the ball as many times as Haskins has, but he does have 939 yards. He can get you more yards per carry, but Haskins is a hard-hitting back, and he's good at catching the ball in the backfield. And I think that just fits with what Michigan and their offense, wants to do. He's going to be a key game changer for him in this game. And then the second player for Michigan, I mentioned I got 2 of them, right? I picked one defensive player and one offensive player for each team. I wanted to mix it up a little in this preview video. Aiden Hutchinson, the best player in the draft, definitely the best defensive player in the draft. He's fast. He pressures quarterbacks, quick to the point of attack. He can get in your face. He can sack you. He is really, really good. I can't wait to see the combine and see this guy run the 40-yard dash. This guy's going to be electric. He's good with his hands. He can go, get in your face, give me the football, get on the ground, and stay there, dang it. I mean, that's Aiden Hutchinson. Get in your face, be fast, be elusive with the football, and just, God, he's amazing to watch. I mean, we talk about, Georgia might have the best defense in college football, but quite honestly, and I know I said some stuff about Will Anderson, but, man, watching Aiden Hutchinson, I think it's close between him and Will Anderson, but I got to give props. Maybe Aiden Hutchinson is the best defensive player in college football right now. It is a big possibility, but again, it's debatable because you have so many great players. I've seen a lot of defense this year. For this offensive era that we're in, I've seen a lot of great defenses. Truly, I really have, and it's incredible. And Michigan's just one of them. Again, they're only giving up 16 points a game. Now, I understand Georgia's only giving up 9.5 per game. Whatever. It's not that big of a margin. A touchdown difference. Who cares? This is going to be an amazing, amazing game, right? So how do these teams win? Honestly, when you look at it, how do they win this game here, right? And again, I mentioned the spread is Georgia by 7.5. Overall, and, I won't make this too long. I know I've kind of babbled on, but I want to hear from you guys. Who do you favor? I think you got to look at it like this. Do you trust more so Well, okay, there's so many different ways I could put this. Do you trust Georgia's defense more than Michigan's defense? Yes, that's a given. I trust that. But do you trust their offense more than Michigan's offense? No. Is it close? I mean, I give Stetson and everybody props. You know, two key players for Georgia, Jordan Davis, a defensive tackle, just incredible. I'm getting sidetracked because I wanted to mention two players for each team. I talked about Hassan Haskins, the running back for Michigan, and Aiden Hutchinson. Transition real quick. We'll get back to what I was talking about in a second. Jordan Davis for for Georgia, right? He is a big defensive tackle. He's a senior. He's huge. He really is. He's got 14 tackles on his own, 14 assist tackles. He does not have the most tackles, but he's got 28. He's got 2 sacks. That's the key player I want to watch, though. Now, the guy that does lead the team in sacks is Kobe Dean. He also leads in tackles, tied with Lewis Seen. Channing Tindall, I'd watch him for Georgia. I kind of just throw out quite a few players as I'm reading this off. Adam Anderson. I mean, Georgia is so deep with this historic defense that they have. Plug and play guys. Just put them out there. They're going to get in your face and make a play. Their recruiting and what Kirby Smart is building defensively is incredible. But I point to Jordan Davis. I just hear all about this Jordan Davis, and I think he is a lot better of a player than his stats show. You know what I mean? Like, it is worse for him on paper. He is better on the field. And, you know, Jordan Davis is incredible. A lot of people were arguing why is this guy not there? And he should be a Heisman finalist. And I'm like, well, why wasn't Will Anderson there? If you're going to put Jordan Davis out there, why are you going to – I mean, there's quite a few. There's only so many finalists you can have for the Heisman, by the way. That's not the point. Point is, there's quite a few guys that I could have listed or whatever, but that I would watch too, just for, you know, Georgia's defense, Kobe Dean, Lewis Seen, you know, Keely Ringo. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that they have, you know, Adam Anderson, Trayvon Walker. I mean, there's a lot. Quay Walker, Channing Tindall. They have depth. That's what I think if you're Michigan, that's what should scare you is that, oh, this player's not doing too good. We've exposed his weakness. Georgia's got enough depth that they can plug a player in there and he'll take care of it, right? So if you're Michigan, you got to be careful about that because let's say Georgia wants to go out there and there's a player or two's not doing their job or they get hurt or whatever, it's next man up on the defensive side of the ball. You know, that I've said this. I think Bama, Georgia, there's very few teams, but Georgia's one of those teams that because of their recruiting and their depth, they're plug and play. They put guys out there and they're going to work with you. They're really, really good. I'm more so on the defensive side of the ball. Now, if they start losing receivers and offensive linemen in this game, I think they're toast. I really do. They're going to have a great defensive game, but here's how I look at it, right? And I'll say this. The second player I have for Georgia is George Pickens. Now, he played a little against Georgia Tech and Alabama, and they're getting their number one receiver, at least in the preseason, who was hurt in the offseason. And Georgia fans were just really upset. And they talked about George Pickens nonstop. And then he gets hurt. And I'm like, what are you going to do now? They're getting him back. And they're getting him back at perfect timing. That is a deep threat wide receiver, right? No matter who's at quarterback. If you could get that guy the ball, his speed, his hands, he's just electric. He's fast. He's just so – he's a player. You know, he is a football player. He is a catching machine. He is what you want in a receiver. He's got a bright NFL future. I think so. I'd take him in a heartbeat. If I'm looking for a receiver, I'm not even questioning it. I'd trade up to number one to get this receiver. George Pickens is that good of a player. I'm telling you that, right? So that's the other player for Georgia, right? How do these teams win? Let's stick with Georgia just to start. Let's transition, though. They have these players. How do they put those players out on the field and go actually win this game against Michigan? The defense has to play to win a championship. Defense wins championships. I still believe that to be true. They got to play like they have all year, minus the Alabama game. They got to play for 4 quarters, get in your face, put you on the ground, stop the run, create mismatches for the receivers. The secondary's got to step up, knock down passes, get some picks. A key guy had a pick in the Clemson game. I think it was a pick 6 was Chris Smith, if I'm not mistaken. That's a key guy, too, that they could have. I mean, they got all these guys on defense, plug and play, put them out there on the field, but they got to play for 4 quarters. They cannot slow down. They might get off to a rough start. That's okay. But pick it up, because Michigan's offense is that good that they're going to find a way to bounce back and put points up on the board. They'll make up for it. They might have to punt. They might have to settle for 3. But Cade McNamara and the offensive mind and everything great about Jim Harbaugh and what he's done with this team this year. I mean, he talked about this after the Ohio State game. He said, this team has togetherness, brotherly love. These brothers stick together, right? They are one team, right? They have been on a mission all year. So is Georgia. It's not just Georgia wanting that title. Everyone wants it. But you look at these 4 teams, I think more than anything, I think Georgia and Michigan want these titles. Well, only one can get it. And quite honestly, both these teams are not making the title. They got to play each other first. They do. Someone's got to win this game. But, man, I'm telling you, that offense of Michigan is going to give it everything they got. And that's what makes it so great, because you're going to have one of the best offenses in college football going up against one of the best defenses in college football. Now, that being said, Bryce Young might have won the Heisman for Alabama. He might be the best quarterback in college football, but if you want to talk about the best offense and complete offense, I'm saying Michigan. You want to talk about the best complete defense? I'm going Georgia. We have our matchup, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you probably the greatest game of bowl season coming up on December 31st. Now, again, I mentioned in the Cincinnati-Bama preview, I will have to work during these games, unfortunately, but I'll come back and watch highlights. We'll talk about it. I'll look into the game, hear about it, recap it, and I'm sure it's going to be amazing, right? I mean, it's going to be incredible, and I'm looking forward to it. That all being said, I don't want to be on here too much longer. Michigan can win this game, right? If they have the offensive line, and it's been pretty good, but they got to stop Adam Anderson. They got to stop Jordan Davis. They got to stop the entire monster-size Georgia defensive line. That's not easy to do. I'll give you that. It's not easy, but it's possible. I mean, Alabama was able to get their offensive line in check and protect Bryce Young, and he was able to make big plays downfield and put 41 points on the board. If Alabama could do it, I'm sure Michigan could too. Oh, well, Alabama's better than – I know. But here's the thing. Everybody has heard me rant, and they've seen it. Alabama's offensive line has been depleted at times this season. It has looked god-awful. If that offensive line can turn it around and get it fixed, and Bill O'Brien can just get it together, what can Michigan do? They've had a great line all year. They can do this. They can take care of it, get it done, and make big plays. I think so. Playmakers got to make plays. Cade McNamara's got to read that defense, right? I think they got to go hurry up, no huddle, get out there, snap the ball, throw them off guard. Be fast tempo type of offense. Play a little faster. Change some things up. Run the hurry up offense and throw Georgia off guard a bit. Don't give them too much time to get set. Go after it, man. And I don't think that Georgia has faced that kind of – I mean, Alabama's great. They're not really fast tempo, hurry to the line and make a big play like that. They take a little bit of time. Georgia hasn't faced that, And the defense for Michigan. they got to play fourth quarter. I mentioned Georgia does have some offensive issues. Don't know what's going to happen with quarterback. Offensive line's got to step up a little bit for them. But also, what good is it to sit there and say that Georgia has some offensive question marks if Michigan's defense goes into this game and takes that for granted? They got to play a four-quarter defensive game, right? And Georgia's not a no offensive team, just some issues here or there, but they have some playmakers for Stetson to work with. Again, rumors, George Pickens comes back. He's got great hands. We talked about him, right? Amazing. Fast weapon you want to give the football to. He could go and make big plays. That's the guy Georgia's got to work with on their offense, but Michigan's got to defend defensively, right? You got to play four-quarter defense. You cannot let Georgia have opportunities to go down the field marching on you and score. You just can't. You got to take chances. Overall, I think it's going to be a big defensive game. Not like the 10-3 game, not a 9-6 or anything. I just think I don't think anybody's hitting 30 points. The spread is Georgia by 8. Or I think, it dropped to 7.5. It was 8 this morning when I checked it or whenever. I don't think anybody's going to cover. I don't think we're going to cover that. I don't think so. I think it'd be a little closer than you think. And quite honestly, I'll give you a scenario, right? One of two things will happen. Michigan is going to have the ball last, and they'll get in just enough position to go down and kick a game-winning field goal. Or Georgia's out on offense at the end of the game. Pressure's on. The pressure is on Georgia's offense. Do you trust that? I don't. I'm sorry, man. I don't want to do this. But if I'm going with my gut, this is not an easy game for me to pick. I wouldn't be surprised if Georgia won this game because they're pissed off because they lost to Alabama. No. If I'm going with my gut, man, I have a feeling Michigan can pull this one out. I'm going to go ahead and give y'all by a field goal, maybe a game-winning field goal or a late stop or something. I think Michigan beats Georgia. I do. But again, 3 points. 1, 2, 3. 3-point game. This is not easy to pick. There's part of me, I don't know who I want to win. I like a Georgia-Bama rematch. That'd be cool to see two teams play in the title game after playing in the SEC title. That'd be cool. But if I'm being honest, look, it would not surprise me no matter what the outcome unless it's not close. Georgia could pull away. Michigan could pull away. I don't think anybody wins by more than maybe 17 points in total. But I think Michigan has what it takes to pull this out. Now, this is not me saying, oh, Georgia's not winning this game. No. Someone's got to win this, and I had to pick something. As Georgia fans, much love and respect to you. Y'all can do this. You can. In my opinion, I see this being one of those, you got to have the offense to keep up. And quite honestly, I trust Michigan's offense. I trust your defense. I'll get you twisted. You're holding them under 30 points, right? And they're scoring 37 a game. But Michigan has just a more complete and has it a little more, screw it. They have it together offensively, and Georgia does not. Not completely, at least. And that's the difference maker in this game. That's what it comes down to. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to have to work with. I think Michigan can get it done. And I feel like this team's been on a mission. These are the two teams been on a mission. Bama, they'd love to repeat. They just won a title. They're not on necessarily much of a mission. Luke Fickell in Cincinnati, come on. I see it more so in Jim Harbaugh, and I see it more so in Kirby Smart. Unfortunately, this is your nightmare scenario if you're Georgia, right? Because you got a Michigan team that didn't just want to beat Ohio State, didn't just want to win the Big Ten, right? Because, they might not do that next year. Unlike Georgia, who's just been there, done that, they're going places. And they might not be here next year. I mean, they're going to be closer to a title next year than maybe Michigan, because I think Michigan definitely takes a step back. But, I mean, man, you're two teams on a mission. I'm sorry, folks, but forget what I said in the offseason. Because if you had told me, if I had known in the offseason everything I said about Georgia, and then I had heard about what was going on in Ann Arbor and what was going to happen with the Michigan Wolverines, this down here would be like it is now. But I didn't know that. So if you had asked me, I would have said, oh, Georgia would probably kill them. It probably like a 30-14 or something. I don't know. That defense. Michigan's got that offense, though. They'll put some points up. But again, will I be disappointed? I don't care who wins this game. I just want Bama to win against Cincinnati and then beat whichever team comes out of this one. But again, this is one of those seasons where if it's one of these teams winning the title, or Cincinnati, if they find a way to upset Alabama and win the title, it is what it is. Alabama had their year last year. This is the year of somebody else maybe. But for right now, let's stick to the semifinals. I'm going to make a bold claim and go Michigan. That's what I got for you. 27-24. Hey, I'm going to take some time this week, and I'd like to take like Christmas Eve, not post anything. Well, screw it. I mean, I'll make videos in the morning, but I don't want to like be doing streams on Christmas or anything, but I just let you guys know that. I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas. I love each and every one of you. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more amazing sports content. Merry Christmas. Love you. Jesus loves you too, more than you could know. I'm telling you that. He's amazing, and you should meet him. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. Keep your head up. God bless. And as always, folks.
Roll down Tide.
Roll Tide, roll. Ballard Sports Media. Check it out. Love y'all.